What's good, YouTube? It's your boy sSickened, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys the best offensive scheme in Madden 20. We will be using the New Orleans Saints offensive playbook, and the formation that we will be focusing on is tight offset tight end. Now this formation originally has a tight end in within this formation, but all you have to do to get 4 wide receivers on this formation is move your right stick to the right once to the package halfback 1, and you now have your number 1 wide receiver where number 11 is. You have your number 2 wide receiver where number 16 is. You have your number 3 wide receiver where number 83 is. And you have your 4th wide receiver where number 14 is. Now I say that because I want you to remember this when you are setting up your depth chart. This is the normal formation with the tight end in on it. You can move it over to the right stick once to get the halfback 1 package. Your number 1 wide receiver is number 11. Number 2 is 16. Number 3 is 83. And number 4 is number 14. So the play that we will be using is Y out halfback swing, and on defense we'll be using Tampa 2 out of nickel normal. Alright, so this is what the original play looks like. The first thing that I like to do is block the running back, then you do an out route on the X wide receiver. This is what the new play looks like, and then you motion out the X wide receiver, and right when he hits the numbers, that is when you throw the ball to the Y wide receiver. So let's motion out the X wide receiver. Right when he hits the numbers, you hike it, wait for it. You bullet pass it to the Y wide receiver, and that is open every single time. So let's show you guys that one more time. You block the running back. You do an out route on the X wide receiver. Let me bring in the defense like an opponent would normally do in an online head-to-head game. If he plays off coverage, that is even better because it will even be more wide open. This is what the play looks like one more time. You motion out the X wide receiver. Right when it hits the numbers, you hike it. Wait for it. Throw it to the Y wide receiver, and that is open every single time. So the cornerback will either play the X wide receiver or the Y wide receiver. If he does not play the X wide receiver, that is when you throw it to the Y. If he starts to drop back in a cover 3 and he plays the Y wide receiver, that is when you start to hit the X wide receiver. So let's show you guys what it looks like when I'm hitting the X wide receiver. So this is just the left side of the screen. Let me keep that in mind. We'll show you guys the right side in just one second. Block the running back. You do an out route on the X wide receiver. This is what the play looks like. You motion him out. Let's say he's playing the Y wide receiver. You throw it to the X wide receiver. That is an easy 2 or 3 yards every single time. So you can hit either the X or the Y wide receiver. Usually the Y wide receiver is going to get you 10 to 15 yards every single time. I usually turn it into a touchdown if you got good sticks. So like I said, let's bring in the defense. And let's show you guys the right-hand side of the screen. Alright, let's do the exact same adjustments. Block the running back, do an out route on the X wide receiver. So this is what the play looks like, and let's say your opponent is now focused on the left side. You've hit that play 2 or 3 times in a row. You do a hitch route, you do a slant route, you do a drag from the X wide receiver. It doesn't really matter. You do the out route and you throw it to the Y wide receiver. He's now focused on the left hand side of the screen. This is where you motion out the B wide receiver and you hit him right when he passes the linebackers or when he goes in between the free safety and the strong safety. So with the same thing as the X wide receiver, you hike the ball right when he hits the numbers. So let's motion him out. Right when he hits the numbers, you hike it. You wait for it. You throw it just like that. And that is open every single time. Like I said, you can do a out route. You can do a drag. You can do a hitch route on the X wide receiver. It doesn't really matter. You block the running back. Let's do a hitch route on the X wide receiver so you guys can see what that looks like. Let me show you guys this real quick. This is what it now looks like. Let me bring in the defense. Bring in the safety, bring in the strong safety like an opponent would normally do. You go to this B wide receiver, hike the ball right when he gets to the numbers. So motion him out, gets to the numbers, and you bullet pass it inwards just like that every single time. Wide open, just like that. So we've showed you the Y corner route. We've showed you the B inside post. Let's talk about the inside zone. This play is so good as well. It is basically so simple. All you have to do is just do inside zone. You can motion out this X wide receiver. You can motion out the B wide receiver to make your opponent, think you're still running that same play. You hike the ball right when he's motioning, just like you did with the pass play. You can motion out this X wide receiver, and you could try to run to the left side, run to the outside when you motion him to pick up that cornerback. Let's run it one more time. Just like this. It is wide open every single time. So we've showed you the Y wide receiver and the B wide receiver, how those are so lethal. Let's show you why the A and the X wide receiver can be just as deadly as well. Let's put the A wide receiver on a hitch route. Let's put the X wide receiver on a hitch route. Now they got a few things to worry about. they got to either worry about the 2 5-yard gains with the X or the A wide receiver, or they got to cover the deep routes with the Y or the B wide receiver. Let's motion out B just like we did before, and let's hit the A wide receiver or the X. The X wide receiver is open. You see how the A wide receiver was covered on the right side of the screen? All I had to do was hit the left wide receiver in X, and that is open. So it is now switched around. We have the B wide receiver in a hitch route, and we have the Y wide receiver in a hitch route. It doesn't really matter which one gets open. Let's just see which one gets open, and we'll hit the open wide receiver. So the B wide receiver got open, and just like that, you're going to gain 5 yards every single time. You can also pit them on an out route as well. So this one is where the corner route is on the left side of the screen. Let's do an out route from the X wide receiver, and let's motion over this A wide receiver just like this. You can do a drag with the A wide receiver, and now they got to worry about an inside post, a corner route, an out route, and a drag as well. You just hit whichever receiver gets open. The B wide receiver got open just like that. You can also motion over this Y wide receiver, and rather than having the B wide receiver on his inside post, you can just streak him like this. And you can do a hitch route from the A wide receiver. So now you got a drag from the X wide receiver. The A wide receiver is doing a hitch route. You got Y doing a corner route from the middle of the field, and you got B doing a streak. Let's see which wide receiver gets open. The A wide receiver is open, but so is the Y wide receiver. And then you just make your opponent pick and choose. It really doesn't matter which route you do, but these are great combos to do with this play. Let's stick with Y halfback out swing. Let's motion over the X wide receiver. This is what the play looks like right now. Give me 1 second. My controller is messed up. X is on a drag. Let's do a out route to the A wide receiver. Now your opponent has to worry about a drag out, an inside post, and a corner route as well. You just pick and choose whichever wide receiver gets open. B is going to be open every single time. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.